with your work, particularly with the Still Broke tune, the plight, the anxieties, the things that make life what it is. By the way, you need to check this new tune out by Samm Henshaw. It's fire.
Appreciate it.
I feel like you're suggestive enough in. It's almost like if you're too blatant with the message you're trying to get across, it becomes a bit. Oh, we've heard that before. People have heard so much music. They know where you're going before you've even said the first verse.
Yeah.
For the first part of the verse. So you've got to be the hook, the catchment of the whole song. It lays on the suggestions and the narration without drilling it down people's voice. You seem to have that. You've achieved that in this song, I feel.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted to make people think without giving it to them in a way that felt preachy or felt like it was something that they've heard a million times.
Yeah.
And I think, and sometimes, I think it's just nice to give people things that make them think. I don't think that everything we need is to make us. I'll put it this way: there's enough artists in the world that are doing things that are making people feel good. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, sometimes I just want people to think, mainly because I went through that situation. A lot of this came from thinking and thought process, having a thought process, and just going through stuff. And it's like sometimes I can't really remember. I mean, mind you, I've not really been listening to like a whole ton of music that has lyrics and vocals in it. But yeah, I can't really remember the last time I listened to something that just kind of made me go, huh. And I really just pondered on the idea of the song for like a really long time. Like I just sat down and was just thinking about what this person was saying and really, cracking my brain about it. And, even with the video, it was the same thing. I didn't want it to be this very obvious, oh, that's what he's talking about. I wanted people to take time to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? And if you needed to, go back to it. And, yeah, I think it's important. I think that, yes, the world's in a place where we need to have things that make us feel somewhat better, but that doesn't last long.
No.
You know what I mean? And so I'd rather be put in a position where I take time to actually think about something.
Challenging the intellect.
Yeah, we need to be challenged. When you look at the way that the world is at the moment, people have just been, giving someone something that feels good because you've been feeling pretty crappy for a while. That's at the end of the day that you're feeding the comfort and you're feeding the complacency. And, that's what when you think about everything that happened last year with the George Floyd thing and, BLM, it was people were being challenged because we had been too comfortable for too long as a society.
Yeah, that's right. And there's a PTSD to that. There's a knock-on effect after a year that we've had.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Not even necessarily just the Black Lives Matter thing. When you think about what happened with the Asian, Asian hate thing that's happened this year, all these things that you're looking at, stuff that's happening between Israel and Palestine and all that sort of stuff. It's stuff that we've just kind of sat down and we've not taken our time to think about because the idea of thinking about it is too exhausting.
Yeah.
The idea of like having to deal with it is too exhausting. But then we can't sit down and say that we want to see change. And we can't sit down and say that we want, it's just, I think there's got to be things in life that push us forward, not just as people, but as a society.
And there's a time for protest music, but in 2021, moving into 2022, it's how you present that.
How you do it, 100%. Yeah.
Crazy. Because there's loads of there's a song for everyone out there, and there's a protest song for everyone out there.
Yeah.
there's space that's been covered, but it's cutting through the old noise and making your stake in the ground as like, that, because this is wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's such a balancing act, isn't it?
The thing that I also noticed as well was I realized for myself, I can't write protest music. I can't, like, I mean, I probably can, but like, I don't want to, because I as a consumer of music, I probably wouldn't listen to it myself, because sometimes it just feels a bit too heavy. So I think with me, I was like, how do I make sure that someone can hear what is being said without it feeling like I'm nagging or I'm, preaching? And I came
it's such a fine line, because that person is
and I came to this conclusion that I'd rather talk to an individual, because I know what I've gone through as just an individual, and the conversations I've had and the things that have challenged me and helped me go, oh, how do I make an adjustment? How do I make a change, which then can maybe affect someone else? And so for me now, when I make music, I'm not making it for, I think I've said it before, but I don't make it for like the masses. I don't make it for a bunch of people. I make it for one person, and hopefully that one person will hear what I've said and move it on to the next person, and they'll move it on to the next person. It just becomes this domino effect.
Yeah.
I think we're all individuals, and we all think individually. And so if I can actually help change one person's, not even necessarily change, but if I could have one person just open their minds to a different thought, then, mission accomplished. You know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah.
People see the fucking numbers and they think that they've got to try and appease that many people. It's one step at a time, and it's one ear at a time, and